Hey guys, Papa Dan here. How's everybody doing on this Tuesday night? Hey, I don't know if any of you had seen Todd H's video or not. If you haven't, I would strongly suggest go over to Todd H channel and check out his last video where he's showing us this air eraser that he got from, I believe he got his from Harbor Freight, but that's where I got mine. That's the, this is the box for it here. It's made by Pache, and he was showing us how he used it to make the tires on his builds, on his cars, look worn, which was really cool, and a whole lot quicker than sanding them, a whole lot quicker. So I was doing some research on this air eraser on YouTube, and there's a whole lot that you can do with this thing that really got me curious. But one of the main thing that everybody was recommending that you do is to build like a sandblasting cabinet, because that's what this air eraser is. It's like a hobby size sandblaster. So I built this one, and I watched probably, golly, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 different videos on how to build these things, and I just kind of took the best from each one that I liked and combined them all to make, this is my version of it. Not saying that this is going to be the best version, not even sure how it's going to work yet. You guys are going to witness that with me. So, but all this is just a plastic tote from Harbor Freight, and that was like $23, I think it was. And it's one of the more expensive ones because it does seal all along the top here. You can see the blue seal. So when you close this down and latch it, it's going to seal, and they say it's actually watertight. I didn't check it, but that's close enough for me. So the first thing I did is I got an 11 by 17, just a cheapo frame here from Walmart. That was like $2. And took the glass out of it, and I cut like a window in the top, because it's not a see-through top, it's like frosted, and it's got these plastic ridges that went all the way across it. In fact, here's the piece that I cut out of it here, and I just cut that out of the top. And then I took the glass, the piece of glass, and put that in here, and you can see where I used silicone to seal it, going all the way around the edges. So it's all sealed in, and that's what actually holds the glass in. So that way, as you can see, I've got a nice clear view going down into the cabinet. Then I put 2 holes in the sides, the same size that I needed for the PVC pipe here, which is a 4-inch PVC pipe. And then that way I can just stick my arm in right into the glove, and the gloves are held on to the PVC pipe with zip ties that you can see that I've got on there. So the PVC pipe was $10 a piece for both, $10, so it's $20 for both of those. And then the one that I've got in the back here as an exhaust, that one was only, because it's smaller, that's just a 3-inch pipe, and that one was, I think, $5. And then for a filter, I just got 2 dryer sheets on there, and I can see my rubber bands have broke, so I'm going to have to reattach that. It's not going to do a whole lot of good with that, is it? So we'll get that reattached before we test it out here. But it's just a couple of dryer sheets that I will get. Like I said, we'll get that reattached and put that on there. But that's for the exhaust. That'll keep everything inside of there, but let the air out. So then we just got the hose running through the side here, and that's the air eraser right down there. That's ready to go. We got my air compressor in here. So what I'm doing now is I'm making a mask, and this project I will show you in another video because this is a surprise for somebody, so I don't want to let the cat out of the bag here in the video. So this project I will make a separate video on, but what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to spray paint a test body, car body that I have. We'll let it dry, and then I'm going to try and put it inside of here, and we'll see how the air eraser does with taking paint off of the body. Todd, I hope you don't mind, I'm kind of jumping the gun on you here. I know you said that you were planning on doing that in one of your videos coming up, but I know you're a really busy guy and with your truck driving schedule and everything. And like I said, I'm really curious myself, so I just wanted to try it and see how well it worked. So I hope you don't mind me jumping ahead of you there a little bit, Todd. So, okay guys, hang on. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that filter right there, and then we'll see how this does. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. Hey guys. Okay, we're going to put this air eraser to the test here. You saw on Todd's video how I did with making his tires for his build look worn, which was great. And we're going to try it out on a car body to see how well it removes paint and see if it damages any of the plastic underneath the paint, and see if it takes away any detail from that. So that's going to be the subject of this video. Now, I have messed around with it a little bit, and I was having some trouble with it. And you'll see that in the second part of the video that I'll have up in a couple of days. But I think I've got that all worked out now. So it was a combination of two things. One, this air eraser compound that came with the air eraser seemed to have been contaminated because it had a lot of, I don't know what it was, some kind of junk that was in it, like paper or plastic or something, but it was clogging up the airbrush. So that was one problem. So what I did last night, and what's really nice about having Amazon Prime is you get next day delivery for free. So I ordered a bigger container actually of the compound, and I started using that along with the combination of, I kind of adjusted the air eraser a little bit. I did a little bit of adjustment on it, and whichever one it was, whether it was the compound that was bad or the air eraser itself, but whatever it is, it seems to have worked out. So, because I've got it working now, so we're going to hook up this, or I'm going to set up this camera, and I'm going to try something different than what I had going on in the second part. And I'm going to try shooting it through the side of the tub and see if you guys can see it. Hopefully you can. And you'll probably notice right away that there's one big difference, and that is I got rid of the welding gloves that were inside of there. They were just way too big, way too thick. Total overkill. Not at all necessary. The only thing that really they did was make it hard to work in the container because they were so big and thick. Two, they kept the dust inside because they were sealed around the opening that I stick my hands into. So I went to Walmart today and I found some new gloves that I think will work just as well. I can get them on pretty easy. You like my little strawberries? It's the only thing they had that would fit my big hand. But they fit my hand to where I can get them on and off easy enough, but this cuff isn't big enough to go around the opening. So I'm going to have my daughter do a little sewing for me and make these cuffs a little bit bigger around so that they'll fit around the opening, and then that will trap all the dust in there. But for now, we're just using it without gloves, and it's no big deal. I mean, you feel the air blowing against your hand, and that's it, because this aluminum oxide is so fine that you really can't even feel this. So, okay, let me get the camera set up here, and we'll see how it does with the car body. I'll be right back. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you real quick before we put this in the bin here is this was painted with Rust-Oleum or Krylon. This was the Krylon. So this was painted with Rattle-Can Krylon, and it had some stickers that were on the top of it, and I don't know, you may be able to see that in the reflection of the light there, but I didn't bother to sand off the gunk that was the sticky part of the sticker that was on the roof of the car there. I left that on there purposely because I wanted to see how much this air eraser is going to take off. So let me put this in the bin and we're going to get started here. Alrighty, I think you can see that pretty good. I'll try to keep it in frame while we're doing this. Alrighty, here we go. Yeah, we're out of medium there. So that was 1 cup. One of these cups of medium. So let's take it out and see what it looks like. Now, as you can tell by looking at my hand, it is gray with that stuff. This is one thing that the gloves would really be nice for, is just keep this stuff off of you. Let me get a brush here. Alright, this is what we got. This is the side of the car that I did not airbrush. And it looks pretty much like it did when I painted it. Now the front, the hood, the top, and this side, it did not remove any of the paint. Now that could be two things, because the medium itself seemed to be sticking to the paint, or sticking to the car. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually like metal flake from the aluminum oxide in there. I'm not sure if that's showing up on camera or not, but I can see it. It almost looks like it was a blue metal flake paint. But it could be that I didn't leave the paint cure long enough so the medium is just sticking to it. Or it could be that the medium that I'm using is too fine for taking paint off. That's about the only thing I can think of, are those two things, because it did nothing as far as taking the paint off. It didn't harm any of the detail in it. I mean, the roof lines are still there, and so it didn't harm any of the detail on the plastic at all. And it does feel, it definitely feels rougher than what the unsprayed side does. So you can tell it roughed it up, but it certainly didn't. It didn't remove it. So I'm going to let this sit overnight, and then we'll come back to it, and we'll try to get this other side and see if maybe the paint hadn't cured long enough. But I doubt very seriously that's it. I really think it's the medium that I'm using is too fine, because this that I'm spraying is, what is it? 400 grit. So, which 400 grit worked on the next project that I had already done. It worked very, very well. I was very impressed with it. But it's not working as far as getting the paint off of the body. So, well, that's a kind of disappointing, but you live and you learn, you know? So if any of you guys got any experience with one of these air erasers, or if you've got any experience with sandblasting and you want to chime in and give me some ideas, let me know what's going on, feel free. My email will be in the description box, and you can leave a comment. So, alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, the second part of this video I'll have up in a couple of days, and be sure to watch that because that had a lot better results than this one did. So, okay, we'll talk to everybody later. Y'all have a good night and we'll see you on the next part. Bye.